So I'm hoping this one works. Yeah, I think we're okay. So thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for being here tonight. My name is Grace Nzula. I'm an HR consultant. Yeah, we are trying to go live on Facebook, on YouTube. So how do I stop that? So I think I'll sort that out as Fred is speaking. I don't know who knows how to mute YouTube. You can tell me how to mute YouTube when we are here. I don't know how to do that, but okay. Oh, there's no echo on your end. Okay, fine. I like the sound of that. All right. Okay. Just gonna disconnect. I know why we were getting an echo. Sorry. Sorry. I am assuming I know why. Yeah, today is one of those days. You guys be patient with us, eh? We shall sort this thing out. Okay, the earphones will not work. So yeah, Fred, you can probably start introducing yourself. Let me look for earphones and then I'll come back. Fred, you can do your intro.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Grace. And thanks for this opportunity. Good evening, everyone. My name is Fred Waswa. I'm the Group CEO for Pension Administration and Consultancy and Actuarial through a company called Octagon Insurance Brokers Limited. We provide training for financial literacy. Oh, sorry, keeps breaking. Sorry, what is it today? Okay, let me see if I can change my internet provision. Just give me.
I think today the network is just deciding whatever is happening. I don't understand. You're back, Fred.
I'm back. Yes. Can I continue?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Sorry for that. I'm hoping this will be better. As I mentioned, my name is Fred Waswa, Octagon Africa Financial Services Limited, Group CEO and founder. We do provide pension administration, consultancy, and actuarial services, and a company called Octagon Pension Services Limited, which is regulated by the Retirement Benefits Authority in Kenya. We provide insurance broking services through a company called Octagon Insurance Brokers, regulated by IRA. And we do training for various categories of membership or employees through a company called Institute of Pension Management. The trainings that we do, basically we do three types of trainings which are popular. One is the fast check management for staff between the age of 25 to 35. So these young people coming into the industry or into the job market need to understand how their money is managed. Then we do a mid-career financial planning program for 35 to 45-year-olds, basically trying to help people who have made mistakes in the first 10 years. They need to be corrected so that they can be able to move forward. That's what we call mid-career financial planning. And then we have pre-retirement program, which runs 45 to 60. So those are the three programs that we run in terms of member trainings. And okay, yes, I'm hoping I'm okay. Yeah, okay. So that's what we do. Maybe what I can do, I can share my slides at the moment and see. Hoping I'll be able to do that. Okay, so that becomes easier, so we can just kick off. I'm hoping we can see my slides.
Yes.
Okay. So as I mentioned, we're a financial services company. We are in 4 divisions. So of course, pension management, insurance broking, training, and actuarial services. Our vision is to enrich lives through innovative financial services and solutions, safeguarding the financial future of our customers through lifelong learning. Our risk management and retirement solutions is our mission on this planet Earth. Our services are employee benefits administration. Of course, we run the products under umbrella. We have an umbrella retirement benefit fund for SMEs, and now it's basically quite popular for contracting out. And then we have a personal pension plan for again SMEs and individual people who are self-employed. We run an income drawdown fund for retirees, a post-retirement fund, medical fund for those who are retiring and needs to save for medical at retirement. We run trust funds for children who parents have passed on, and we pay schools. We manage the funds and pay school fees for children, upkeep and medical care until they get to age 25. We provide corporate trustee services to schemes, and then we do administer assets in excess of 1.2 billion, with a consolidated membership of 200,000 across the 3 countries we operate. We operate in Kenya, in Uganda, and in Zambia. Of course, we do insurance broking, as I mentioned, and training, as I mentioned earlier. Our journey, we started the company 17 years ago. We are basically celebrating this month, our 17th year, as Octagon Pension Services Limited, getting to Umbrella Fund in 2009. In 2010, we bought a small insurance agency and converted into a brokerage business. 2013, we went to Uganda. 2016, we incorporated the group company, Octagon Africa. The institute was set up in 2017, and Zambia was opened in 2017 as well. In 2020, we entered into a partnership with Alexander Forbes South Africa, where we serve their clients that come into the countries that we are in. In 2022, we launched Octagon Young Money, which is a financial literacy program for the young children, which we run over the holidays online, and it's quite a popular program. In terms of our partnership brings on board investment consulting capabilities, which basically we are launching a asset consulting department this quarter. We get global and international research and experience from the South, and human resources. Of course, we have exchange programs for our staff, and product development and innovation. All our products, basically, we make sure that they are reviewed so that we are able to get the experience of Alexander Forbes experience. And of course, we also get the advantage of getting asset and liability matching, reporting, and income allocation for our clients. Now, we need to talk about the NSSF Act of 2013. And before I get into the numbers, I think just basically to put the whole story into perspective, the NSSF, of course, was operating as NSSF Provident Fund up to February 2023. Before then, the contributions were 5% employer and employer, capped at 200 shillings each. And that's about 400 shillings, Kenya shillings. Now, of course, the challenge was the benefit being able to cover somebody's retirement, and also basically the amount is too small. And how the amount is accessed is also a problem, because it was being accessed as cash. It's important that pension is accessed as a monthly income to make sure that one has an income that he doesn't work for. So the new act that came in 2023, of course, it was enacted in 2013, but because of which was in stay for 10 years. Last year, there was a negotiation out of court, and the amendment brought in a new fund called the NSSF. It's a NSSF still, but it's a pension fund, not a provident fund. What it means is that the benefits that will accrue out of this new fund will only be paid, a bit of it as cash, and the whole amount, the rest of the amount will be paid as a monthly pension. So a third of it will be paid as cash, and then 2/3 will be paid as a monthly pension. Now, the monthly pension will be paid, will be purchased from an insurance company as an annuity in that very particular respect. Of course, it also brings in the review of contributions, just to make sure there is an adequacy of benefit that is provided to employees when they retire. And that means that contributions had to be reviewed. And the contributions were reviewed to 12%, which is 6% employee and 6% employer. However, those contributions were capped at different levels. Yes?
Sorry, please make me host. I'm sorry, I left and then came back, so we are not recording the session, and I'm sure the people will be asking for a recording. Sorry to interrupt. So you're the host. You can make me host or co-host.
Okay, let me see if I know how to do that.
Just go to participants, then panelists, then you'll see Atara Solutions. Then you right click and you will see make co-host or make host.
Right click.
Or just click on my name.
Yeah, on Atara Solutions.
Yes.
Then I say more, ask, make host. Yes.
Yes.
Are we there?
Thanks. Yes. So before you continue, let me just record.
Okay.
Excellent.
Okay. So let me go to my, I'm hoping I should be able to get back my presentation. Optimize. Have I stopped sharing?
Yes.
Oh, and then it says host has disabled. Today.
There you go, Fred.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Let's see where I can get my presentation here. Share. You can see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Okay, so as I was mentioning that the contributions were increased to 6% employee and 6% employer, ideally to raise the benefit level, because the benefit was too small 400 shillings if you increase it over a period of 30 years, for example, at a return of about 10%, you'll get something towards about 800,000 Kenyan shillings. Now, in 30 years, 800,000 buy a pair of shoes, and that will be the pension that somebody will get. So ideally, it wasn't making any sense to contribute that 400 shillings. Now, also, the Act came in place to be able to help in governance, just to make sure that the controls in the management of the fund. We have had challenges in terms of governance of the fund, but I think the Act has made some changes that hopefully will be able to help in bringing confidence for members to save through the fund. The other bit that it brought on board is the fact that it's something called contracting out, which I'll take you through in a while, where that you as an employer that you are not forced to be able to contribute through NSSF, the whole contribution. But part of the contribution you can actually contribute through a private pension scheme, your own private pension scheme, or a public private pension scheme that is set up by providers like ourselves. So that is the provision. Previously, you contribute all the 400 shillings to NSSF. And there was some employers, of course, who didn't have any what you call occupational pension schemes. And therefore, the only benefit that members were getting was 400 bob. Now, and also, you know very well that there were a couple of issues with NSSF. Even getting the benefit became a challenge. And so therefore, when somebody retires, even that very little money getting becomes a challenge. So what the government has done is said, okay, fine, choose whether you want to save through NSSF, or you want to save through your own scheme, which you can set up, or you want to save through an umbrella fund that exists, or a personal pension fund that exists. So those are the options that exist at the moment. Now, the Act came in place as last year, and the first year was contributions were picked at 6,000, what we call the lower earnings limit. Now, for those ones who may have the background of 6,000 and 18,000 shillings, what we call the lower earnings limit and the upper earnings limit, is in 2013, when the Act came in place, when it was signed and it was supposed to be implemented in 2014, the Act provided that the first year of contribution will be 6% of minimum wage. And the second tier will be 6% of national average earnings, minus minimum wage contributions that have been made. So that net over has to take place. However, because of the uproar and people thought it's going to be too much an increase from 200 shillings to just 6% of minimum wage, and then the minimum wage was 12,000 Kenya shillings. It was going to be a challenge for the employees and their pay slips. And even if you add the upper earnings limit, which was 36,000 then as national average earnings, so it's going to be very high. So what the government did was to provide, yes?
We can only see the NSSF Act of 2013. Is that what you wanted to project? That's a page on our screen.
Oh, is it not moving?
It has not moved.
Now, what has happened now?
Maybe you can stop share and start share again.
Okay. Whatever has happened today. Can you see my screen?
Yes, but it's also not very clear. Yes. Yes. Maybe you can slide so that we can see the. You play slides, okay. Like you full screen.
Yeah, I've done. Yeah. Can you see the screen?
Yeah. Yes, but we still can see presentation mode, not.
Oh, I've put in presentation mode.
Your side, not ours. We are supposed to be seeing the full screen.
The full slides.
Yeah, like you can say, go to use presentation mode or something.
Yeah, that's what I've done. So I go down here and say slideshow.
Yeah.
And I say Sorry. There, can you see the seats full?
No, nothing has changed.
My God. Okay, let me see. Slideshow.
Somebody is saying they are unable to see any presentation. Now yours is worse. We can see the presentation.
Oh, they can't see presentation.
No, somebody else is saying that, but I think I don't know. I can see a presentation. I can only see. Yeah, Ebo, try play from the beginning. On the right side. Okay. We can't see presentation mode. Anyway, so long as the slides are moving, I think we can continue. We shall deal with the other issues later. Today ni kama hii maneno iko na vile, I know. Sijui nani hajaomba. We can see Fred. Fred, are you there or is it me? Can I be heard? Fred, you have hung. Fred, are you there? I can't see you. I think Fred's network has disappeared. Yeah, I'm wondering, Doreen, as well. I think we did not start with with prayers. Just 1 second. Let me just call him. Yes, I agree. Doreen, please pray for us. Somebody, please type a prayer there. We need prayers. And even these deductions have reduced completely. Although, yeah, so he's trying to share the presentation with me so that we can do the presentation. And then, yes. Yeah, thank you for the prayers. We need them. Yani ile siku tunafaa kufunguliwa macho about these things. Then here we are. Yeah. Today a lot has refused. Where?
Whatever that is happening here, can't even tell.
I am telling you.
Strange.
I don't know which leg we woke up in. Yeah. Okay, my email is Grace.
And today is crazy, I tell you. Oh, God.
All right, so as we wait for Fred to do that, you guys are welcome to Our Ladies' Day on 9th February, or rather 9th March. We have an event on 9th March. Please come. Yeah, I'm laughing at the comments. My God, thank you for standing with us. Somebody is saying we should repeat tomorrow. And Sisi ndio tuko, we are here. We shall be fine. Yes, the event is actually allowed for men. Yes, we have men and women, because through discussions we're going to have is our theme is the labor of love and leadership. And also because we've had men who have been supporting ladies in leadership. So we are looking forward to hosting a man who has had a spouse who is what do we call them? A career woman. That's the plan on the 9th. Yes, I will remember to record. Let me just find it, because there we go. I have received it, Fred. So let me just get that out. Hey, today. We shall be here until we finish. Please be patient, people. Be patient today. And we shall get there. For those in the groups who are not able to join and you guys can hear them, tell them to look for me on Facebook, because that's the only place we could go live, unfortunately. So here we are. Okay, so play from beginning. Can you guys see the screen? Fred, can you see the screen?
Yes, I can see the screen. Yes.
Okay, so we already covered that. We were here.
Yes, I was on this one.
Okay, so we go on.
Okay. So sorry for that. The contributions for year one, as I was mentioning, we have, what the government did is to provide for a minimum contribution that should go to NSSF, which is tier one contribution. And tier one contribution is tier one contribution. Somebody's asking whether recording is in progress. Okay, so tier one contributions are based on minimum wage, and minimum wage in 2014 was 12,000 Kenya shillings. And as I mentioned, the government decided to use half of that as the starting. So year one was half of minimum wage, which is 6,000. And for up earnings limit minimum, the national average earnings was 36,000, and half of that was 18. That's why you find that year one is 6,000, and it continues with 1,000 each year as a lower earnings limit. The upper earnings limit continues doubling every other year. So year one is 18, year two is 36, year three is 72, year four is 108, and year five, 144. Year five is basically an assumption. It will be the national average earnings prevailing in year five. And of course, year one, which is the first year of contribution, which has already taken place, and we the last contribution went through in January. We are starting the end of this month. If you are running payroll today, you should be running payroll based on year 2 contributions, which are based on 7,000 lower earnings limit, which the contribution is 420 shillings. And then we have upper earnings limit now has gone up to 36,000, which contribution is 1,750. What this means is that if you have employees who earn today a salary of, let's say, 25,000 Kenya shillings, then their tier 1 contributions for year 2, tier 1 contributions for year 2 will be 420 because it's 7,000 as upper earnings limit, so it's 6% of 7,000 Kenya shillings. Now, if that staff earns 25,000 shillings, then his or her upper earnings limit is not 36, it's 25. So which means that 6% of 25 will be the tier 2 contribution minus 420 is what is supposed to be paid. So any staff earning below 36,000, they are basically contributing 6% of their pay for pension. Yeah, and tier 1 contribution goes to NSSF. Tier 2, as I mentioned, may go to NSSF must go to NSSF if you don't have a scheme that is set up for your organization or you are participating in an umbrella fund. So tier 2 contributions in year 2, if anybody earning a salary above 36,000, then the upper earnings limit will only be 36,000, which means that the contributions will be 1,740. As you can see, the contributions for tier 2 have gone up by over 100%, from 720 to 1,740. That will be tier 2 contributions. Now, those tier 2 contributions and tier 1 contributions, of course, must go to NSSF. But tier 2, you can decide that they are not going to NSSF as long as you have sent into a scheme which is compliant. Now you can see that the contributions are going up from total contributions are going up from 2,160 to 4,320. That is total employee and employer contribution. Because only employee, if you take 420 plus 1740 is 2160. So twice that is what is going to be saved for savings for an employee for retirement, which is a good thing because that's a bit substantial amount of money for somebody earning that 6,000 shillings, contributing 4,320 is not bad. But one needs to look at it in terms of what are the options for you to be able to save for the betterment of the employees of the organization. Now, of course, next year from February in year 3, which is 2025, we will go to 8,000 Kenya shillings, which is 480 tier 1, and tier 2 will become 3,840, using 72,000 as upper earnings limit. Now, which means that anybody who will be earning a salary below 72,000 shillings will contribute 6% of their salary at that particular time. In 2026, we'll go to 108 upper earnings limit with a low earnings limit of 9,000 Kenya shillings. Now, that contribution gets a little bit higher. You can see as it's increasing. And year 5, which is 2027, lower earnings limit will be based on minimum wage prevailing then. Currently, I think minimum wage is around 15,000 shillings. So maybe then the prevailing minimum wage may be something like maybe 20,000 shillings. The upper earnings limit today is about, in the economic survey, is about 47,000 shillings. So which means the upper earnings limit in 2027 will be 4 times that, because the upper earnings limit is 4 times national average earnings. So 4 times that amount will be what the upper earnings limit is. So if it's 45,000 Kenya shillings, it will be 180. So anybody earning a salary below 180,000 shillings, it means that they will contribute 6% of the amount. Anybody above that will have an upper earning limit of 180,000 shillings. So that's how the contributions are going to go through. Now, how do you apply this in your payroll? Of course, contributions are tax deductible. So you must remove it from cross pay before you tax the balance of the salary, so that members get a tax relief on the contributions that go into the pension scheme. There is no limit on these contributions. So as we increase the contributions, move on by the year 2027, when contributions go beyond 20,000 shillings, which current limit under the normal occupational pension schemes, we will still continue giving them tax relief at that particular time. So at the level of payroll, when we are doing contributions, you must provide deductible contributions at that time. The second thing is in terms of making returns to NSSF, because that also has been a bigger challenge for payroll administrators and the payroll accountants, is that when you're making contributions, when you're making returns, where you are supposed to declare earnings, you should only declare earnings based on lower earnings limit, not the upper earnings limit. Because once you declare the upper earnings limit, then the system will require you to be able to pay in tier 2 contributions. Now, we have asked NSSF to work on this. Hopefully, they will work on their system so that it blocks once you have a salary that's more above the lower earnings limit, that you have a choice whether to be able to make that return or not. But currently, you will use the lower earnings limit as the salary for staff to be able to contribute only 420 to the scheme. That means that if you are already contracting out, you already have a certificate of contracting out, so that you don't have to pay contributions to NSSF. So that's how it is basically going to pan out as contributions in this month. So this is end of this month. So this month contributions must be based on year 2, which is 420 and 1740 for your staff who are above 36,000 Kenya shillings, or 420 and 36,000 shillings, and 6% of the salary for staff who have salaries below 36,000. So that's what's supposed to happen in terms of contributions. Now, I will take you through. So next, as almost yes. So contracting out. Tier 2 contributions may be contracted out to an existing unlicensed registered pension scheme, and the contracting out certificate is issued by RBS, not issued by NSSF. So, which means that you, as an employer, must apply to RBA for contracting out. Now, you need only to do that if you have an established pension scheme, and that scheme has got what we call a test certificate, a reference test certificate. A reference test certificate is issued by RBA to confirm that your scheme has been amended. The trust has been amended to provide for. Contributions of NSSF. Then they give you a reference test certificate. If you don't have that, then you can join an umbrella fund that has a reference test certificate. So it means that when you are applying for contracting out, in the document for application for contracting out, you need to include in there the scheme you're contracting out to, and that will be the umbrella fund or your occupational pension scheme. So the employer then applies for opting out to NSSF, and that approval comes after 60 days. So when the approval from RBA comes, when you get the RBA approval, 60 days from the date of getting the approval, you start contracting out. On approval and receipt of a contracting out certificate, tier 2 contributions are sent to NSSF, may be transferred to your private pension scheme. So you can apply for a refund of contributions, the tier 2 contributions that has gone to NSSF, to your scheme that you have contracted out to. And the employer will then remit all tier 2 contributions to their scheme and tier 1 to NSSF. I can see questions are coming, but I will address them when I've done my presentation. Grace, next. So, okay, fine. This is basically what will we do for you if you choose that we can help you, and we're helping very many organizations. I think so far we have done almost 100 companies, just trying to help them in terms of contracting out. We'll conduct a member education and sensitization on the implications of the Act. We'll facilitate you, execute Form C1 and board resolutions and deed of adherence, and provide draft written notice to employees or staff unions as applicable, which is required. And of course, we'll collect list of employees with NSSF registration numbers, and employer's NSSF registration number and apply for contracting out on your behalf. Once we obtain the contractor certificate, we will help you apply for transfer to your 2 contributions already remitted to NSSF as a refund to your scheme. And we're hoping your scheme will be Octagon Umbrella Retirement Benefit Scheme. The next, Grace. So advantages of contracting out. Why would you think about contracting out? You know, one is better returns. That private pension schemes, including what we run today, basically provide better returns than NSSF. NSSF has had its own challenges. Of course, they are in the process of changing in terms of restructuring and all kind of things like that. But there is a whole challenge there in terms of whether you're going to get good returns or not. Private pension schemes will promise you better returns and better services in terms of efficiency. People can be able to get benefits, can be able to check statements, can be able to apply for withdrawals online. And governance structures. The governance structures for private pension schemes allow for member engagement and clear reporting structures. So if you are in an umbrella fund, then the umbrella fund requires that you get, if you're in an umbrella fund, the umbrella fund requires that you get a management committee, which is basically staff that will be able to help, participate in the management of the pension scheme. So there is an involvement in the management of the pension scheme in a private pension scheme. Of course, managing costs. The cost of running our pension scheme is low and largely regulated, which improves the return and growth of the pension fund. RBA cannot allow you to spend more than 2% of the fund in terms of costs per year for all the services that are provided to the scheme. Now, this kind of things may not necessarily happen around NSSF. Value addition, free trainings on financial literacy, retirement options, member engagements, and customized products like group life insurance or WIBA that can come along with the product that you choose as an umbrella fund or as an occupational pension scheme. So there's a whole advantage of contracting out, which is important. But as an employer, you need to look at it and say, what is in the best interest of the employees? It's basically to contract out to make sure that there is also, you don't have all the eggs in one basket. If something went wrong with NSSF, then your benefits basically are down in everything. So that kind of management of risk is important as an employer. Next. So let us look at the Social Health Insurance Fund. Of course, the Social Health Insurance Fund, Act 2013, came in place. It was supposed to start in 1st of January 2024, but because of court cases, it didn't. Now that has been released, and it commences 1st of March 2024. So end of March, salaries must be deducted in terms of contributions, and the contributions in such a way that persons on salaried employment to pay monthly contributions of 2.75% of gross salary, which is matched by the employer contributions. These contributions have no limit. I saw somebody asking that on the wall. These contributions have no limit. The limit of 5,000 shillings, I think, was a suggestion. Yeah, as a suggestion for that. 2.75% was a suggestion for that. That has there's no limit if you look at the gazettement of the Act. And then persons above 25 years without income is 300 shillings per month. So that's the contributions that are supposed to be provided for that. Now households. Now there is something called households. Yeah, households. There's something called households. Households are supposed to contribute 2.75%. Yeah, households are supposed to contribute 2.75%. Now, that's not very clear. So we were expecting that the minister, because the Act has said that the minister will release some regulations or practice notes to be able to implement this. So we're expecting that to be released very soon, before maybe we making those contributions, which is a fund proposed under the Social Health Insurance Bill of 2023 that will be used to finance stable network. Can you hear me, Chris?
Yes, Fred, I can.
Okay. which will be used to finance primary healthcare services. So there is a primary healthcare fund. And this primary healthcare fund will be financed by various sources, including contributions from employers and employees, government funding, and donations. The Social Health Insurance Fund is a proposed fund under the Social Health Insurance Act 2023 that will provide coverage for a range of healthcare services. So, of course, Social Health Insurance Fund, the fund will cover a range of healthcare services, including inpatient and outpatient care, maternal care, and emergency services. So of course, Kenyans will need to visit healthcare providers that have been empaneled. So we'll have panels that Social Health Authority, which is going to be set up, will approve for us to be able to go to those empaneled healthcare facilities to get health services. Next, Grace. Okay. In terms of registrations, all Kenyans and foreigners in Kenya must register and participate in the social health insurance fund for over 12 months. And here is the breakdown of those expected to register for SHIF. So every Kenyan shall register for SHIF membership. A non-Kenyan resident of Kenya shall be eligible for registration as a member of the fund, and a child born after the commencement of the act shall be registered as a member of the fund. And I think children who are going to be born going forward will be registered at birth as members of the fund. Next. Good. I think I've come to the end. Maybe we can take questions. We apologize. We have had some hitches, but I'm hoping we should be able to have it right.
Right. So Fred, I like simplifying these things for HRs because you remember our mathematics is not the best. So what we are saying is this month we are deducting a total of 2160.
Yes.
In simple months.
End of this month.
In simple months, the end of this month, we are deducting 2160.
Correct. 2160 employee, and then you match with the 2160 employer.
Okay. Somebody is saying, please put back slide 8. Let me see. Let's see. Where is it? Share screen. The slideshow in progress. What do you mean? Why?
Oh, it's refused.
Today. Today we have those ones. Okay, so which of now is slide 8? Slide 8 must be this one.
The one which has numbers, yes.
Yeah, so we are saying this month total employee is 2160, which is to be matched by the employer on 2160 as well.
Correct.
So for those who have not contracted out, they are submitting 4,320 to NSSF.
Absolutely.
And those who have contracted out, 420 is going to NSSF, 1740 is going to the company.
The company scheme or the umbrella fund that they have contracted out to.
Okay. So I think that is very straightforward. So HR professionals or accountants or business owners in the core, this month NSSF is 2160. And now submission or filing returns, if you have not contracted out, you're filing 4,320. And but now, Fred, for those who are earning less than 36,000, it's not as simple as that, right?
It's not as simple as that. For those who are earning less than 36,000, so for example, one is earning, as I mentioned an example, earning 25,000 or 20,000. Let me give that an easy example. if one is earning 20,000 Kenya shillings, it means that tier 1 will still be 420. Yeah, right? Tier 2 will be 6% of 20,000 minus tier 1. Now, 6% of 20,000 is 1,200. Then you remove 420, which basically becomes the balance that needs to go to tier 2, which is going to go to a tier 2 account. So for those ones who are earning below 36,000, the 6,000 is applied straight on their salary. It's not applied on 36. Anybody who's earning above on 36,000 Kenya shillings.
Okay. So the math that is very simple is for people who are at 36,000 and above. If you're less than 36,000, you have to calculate the whole 6% and then reduce 420, and then that is what you file for tier 2. And that's
Absolutely.
how you come up with the amount that you deduct your employee.
Correct.
We shall deal with year 3 when year 3 comes in 2025. Tupeleke pole pole, Fred. We are we are taking a year at a time, right?
Yeah,
so for HR professionals and payroll masters, we are together, I believe. Then next year we shall have another one that we shall unpack that year. I mean, why are we rushing? And life is still happening.
Correct.
So please repeat this mathematics below 36K.
Okay.
Then Fred,
so
let me ask you that before, as you answer that, the 36K is gross.
It's gross. Yes, it's gross.
Okay.
Everything. Whether you have a house allowance, you have car allowance, you have everything. It's gross.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Now the thing is, this is that if you are earning a salary of 36,000 shillings and above, that contribution, that calculation is very simple. I've put it there. Just plug in those figures and you'll have your contributions. If your staff earn a salary below 36,000 shillings, you have a staff who earns a salary of 20,000 shillings, which I gave as an example. What happens is that your tier 1 contribution is 420 because 7,000 is lower earnings limit. Tier 2 contribution is 6% of 20,000, which is 1,200 minus 420 because they don't want you to pay too much. So they are netting off. They are netting off what you paid as tier 1 contribution. I saw that question coming through. So which means that your tier 2 contribution will basically be 780. That will be tier 2 contribution. Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So I think for all of you, don't stress about these other things. Just take your 420 and your 6%.
Somebody's asking if I earn 36,000 shillings. If you earn 36,000 shillings, which is on the dot, it means that your tier 1 will be 420, your tier 2 is 1740.
There you go.
Correct.
So somebody is saying, let's say you're earning 25,000. Tier 1 will be 6% of 7,000, which is 420. Tier 2 will be 6% of 25,000 minus the 7,000, which is 1080.
Correct.
So they will pay 1,500.
1,500, then you remove 420.
Okay. No, I'm saying okay.
So 1,500
minus 420.
Well, minus 420.
Okay.
So that will be 1080. So tier 2 will be 1080. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
If you have a problem with running your payroll, just send me your salaries. I'll do for your payroll and send it back to you. That's what I've been doing.
Yes, Joy Theuri, it's 1080 minus 420 for tier 2. Okay. Any successful opting out payments of contributions from NSSF to the identified pension fund?
we
Yeah,
have,
people have.
we have a lot of success stories. We have almost, I think almost 70 companies who have contracted out, and they are contributing to private pension schemes, either their own schemes or what, for our clan. And I know the industry, a lot more is happening around there. If you have not applied for contracting out, in my view, you are not a responsible employer. It's important that you contract out. It's just important. It's just important. You know very well. 4,320 to go to NSSF. When 400 since they couldn't be able to manage it well, it means that we are not so serious. We need to look at it. When the act has provided that we can actually contract out, it will be important to consider that option that the act has given you as an employer for your employees.
Well, then your part, Pauline, that part for ×2, mimi sijasikia Fred akisema anything ×2, unless you're using the employer's money. Now let's go and ask our questions on SHIF.
Okay.
So Fred, is it been gazetted?
Yes.
That this is starting on 1st March? Is there a gazette notice or something? Or the
yes,
act, or
I think the gazettement came out. The gazettement came out. Was it on 12th or something, February? 12th of this month, yes.
So we even have now, all of us will have to actually register again for SHIF, even if we are contributing on NHIF.
No. I think if you are a member of NHIF, if you are a member of NHIF, then you automatically will you roll into an SHIF.
Okay. Now, SHIF, will retirees be considered?
Retirees are considered as individuals who can contribute 300 shillings. We know they have been contributing 500 bob, so now they can contribute 300 shillings. So of course, there is the element of those who are, disabilities, the ones who are, who can just be able to help themselves. So the government says if they can't, the government will pay for them. Now, how they would identify that, that's another challenge we don't know.
Okay. Rosalind, so if you opt out, just 1 second, I've lost your question. Where there? If you're asking a question, please put it on the Q&A. The chat is rolling. I'm not able to keep up with everything happening there.
There's a lot on the chat.
Okay, somebody says they're not understanding. Please confirm on the employer matching on the SHIF.
You will match. The employee must make 2.75%. The employer must match that 2.75%. That's what is provided in the Act.
Okay. So since it's effective on 1st of March, why are we using the new rates in February? We are not. Please note what is due in March is SHIF. NSSF is due in February.
In February, correct.
Yes.
Correct.
NSSF is due in February. SHIF starts in March.
Yeah.
Please confirm. Okay, where is the other one? Rosalind says. Okay.
So it says, please. I mean, so if you opt out, she says, okay. Where is that now? Gone again.
If you opt out, tier 2, you pay to NSSF. I mean, to the contracted out company.
Correct. You don't pay out to NSSF. Once you have opted out with an opting out certificate, tier 2, you pay to the scheme that you have contracted out to.
And then somebody is saying on the SHIF, is the relief still applicable?
The relief, that is not clarified, but I guess I can check on that. But that's not clarified in the Act. Okay.
And then, is there a waiting period for contributions on SHIF who are not salaried?
They haven't. You know what they have said is that the minister is going to issue some guidelines. And I guess those are going to be the detail of the guidelines that for us, in terms of people who are joining, what kind of benefits, what's the waiting periods, and all things like that. And we're expecting that maybe to be out in a couple of days or a couple of weeks.
Okay. SHF, what is gross? Does it include benefits, allowances? We faced the same issue with AHL before the clarification was sent out. Gross salary includes everything. Gross means
Gross
total
salary?
earnings. Somebody is asking what is gross earnings?
Gross earnings is total salary. It's all
But
salary
whether it
without...
includes benefits, allowances, we face the same. What is gross?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's inclusive of everything.
Everything. I think I had that description last year. I could just I can put in the slides with the ones that you can shout.
Okay. Please confirm whether spouses are covered together under the SHIF, or does each have to pay separately?
There's a place they have mentioned that the contributor, I mean, the member who's staying with a contributor will be covered, but that's not clear. Again, we're expecting that this should be cleared in the Gazette notice in terms of regulations, which have not been issued yet.
Doreen, your question is yes. The answer is yes. And then John Manzia, do we need to contract private insurance covers for medical schemes, or SHIF is comprehensive?
Now we don't know until it's all about testing, seeing whether, because the challenge is if it's going to run like NHIF, then we're just back to square zero. We're expecting that contributions are enhanced, and therefore we would have outpatient benefits, inpatient benefits, so somebody does not have to augment it with a private medical scheme. But we will have to see how that works, how that pans out.
Okay. So clarify, if one earning 36K and contracting is already done, an employer will have to file to NSSF 420 and then to employee 420, employer 840.
That's for what?
That Paul Macharia, your question is not very clear. It's not. SHIF, will we need to choose hospital as we do with NHIF?
I don't know. That has not been clarified in any documents yet. They simply say that they will have a panel of service providers. The question is how members who will access that panel is not yet.
Okay. Clarify, if one is earning 36K and contracting or is already done, as an employer, we'll have to file an SSF 420 for employee plus 420 for employer, which is 840. And then balance matched by both employer and employee, 1740 to my pension scheme. Yes.
Correct.
Nimeshika hii mambo ya NSSF. I am about to become a bro.
Yeah. you just need to cross over.
Yes, and there's clarification. Please note the employer is not contributing SHIF. This 2.7% is only to the employees. Is that the case, Fred?
No, employer is matching those contributions.
Okay.
The one that is being discussed in Parliament now, which is the housing levy, there is a whole discussion to make it only employee contribution, but we don't know whether that will go through. The SHIF is both employee and employer, 2.75%, and there's no limit.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll do another webinar just closer to maybe somewhere in mid-March on SHIF, because we should have more regulations will have come out at that particular time.
Okay, so at that point we shall review.
Correct.
We shall calculate SHIF once we have the regulations in March. For now, you don't have to worry much about it, but at least you're a bit informed Can an employer opt out on their own NSSF? How do you opt out of the NSSF? You can't. You can opt out of personal pension.
Can an employer or an employee?
Can an employee opt out on their own?
No.
You can't.
Opting out is only provided for employer and not members.
Right. Okay. So in general, our taxation percent. Yeah.
There is a question there, which I think I addressed for Kirui, and I'm hoping you understood it. And that has been a bigger challenge for people. We have experienced a challenge in payment of Tier 2 contributions to a contracted out scheme, despite contracting out successfully without a reason being a challenge in NSF system configuration with the payroll and assistance on this. When you go into the NSSF portal and you are making returns in NSSF portal, you don't put the full salary of the staff. You put the lower earnings limit. Yeah, you put lower earnings limit, and therefore it only allows you, it only requests you or asks you to be able to pay Tier 1 contributions. If you put full salary of staff, then it will require you to do Tier 1 and Tier 2 contributions. So you must be conscious about that. As I mentioned, we are engaging NSSF to make changes to their system so that it's easier for people to make contributions. But people are doing those contributions based on that. So Tier 1 contribution is based on lower earnings limit. So last year, people were putting a 6,000 shillings, and this year, starting from this month, it's going to be 7,000 shillings. So if you put 7,000, it doesn't require you to provide for Tier 2 contributions. I'm hoping that's clear, but if not, you can always reach out to me. I think I'll give my contacts on the platform.
Okay, Masichuma also says, I do not think 2.75% of SHIF is both employer and employee. I think we need to read that law.
That what?
Somebody else is saying that the question on employer and employee contributions on SHIF.
Yes.
They are saying that they don't think that employers should match. Well, yeah.
Well, that's what we have found out. So, there's a lot of stories around there, but you better get a legal opinion if you think it's wrong. So you don't make a wrong decision. Don't make a wrong decision.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Right. I bet you that Gazette notice, everyone is asking for the notice on SHIF. I don't know whether you have.
I will look out for it and then can send it to you.
Okay, then I'll share in the groups. All right. So yes, Alice Okuta, that mathematics is correct. Hey, I'm telling you, I can't even keep up with the chat. Fred, share your email address. Maybe it's time to put your contact details as well.
I have put my telephone and my email in the chat. But I put under questions. No, what are questions you can't. Have you seen it in the chat? In the chats?
No. You're sure you've sent to everyone, not to host and panelists?
Host and panelists. Oh, I didn't send to everyone. How do I get to do that? I don't know.
Nelly Nanyu is saying, can you arrange a physical training on the same? Yes, we shall look for money.
Yeah, we can do that. Again, I've done host and panelists.
And then, Fred.
Yes.
What happens to those who had paid 500 for the whole year on the Zoom? Yes, we have seen, for the whole year.
Those who have?
Who had paid the 500 for the whole year? You know, the way like...
Yeah. The guys who have paid 6,000 shillings annual premium. We don't know. We have no idea what's going to happen, but hopefully the government will do something about it.
Okay. Please answer questions on employer who had contracted out and then moves to an employer who has not. What happens then?
An employer who has contracted out?
An employer who has contracted out, an employee leaves there and joins a company that they have not contracted out. What happens to the money?
They have an option of leaving it in the scheme where they were, which is contracted out, or transferring the benefits to an IPP, an individual personal pension plan that is contracted out.
Okay. My question was, if an employee is terminated, can they transfer their savings to the next employer account?
Yes, they can transfer to the next employer as long as that employer has contracted out scheme, or they can transfer to NSSF.
Okay. Okay, I think we are about to finish. Doreen says, is there going to be a new registration on SHIF or will just be transition? Okay, I think we answered that, but you can repeat.
But is there any going to be?
How will we transition from NHIF to SHIF?
There is. They have given, I think they have talked about up to the end of this year. That transition is going to take place by 31st December 2024. So 1st January, then everybody should basically be on the new scheme. As I mentioned, we still require a lot of information around this because there is very scanty information, you know. So there's quite scanty information. I'm hoping that we'll be able to issue some gazette notices to be able to make this clear.
Okay. So somebody is saying we need to have that one. Yes, we'll have a webinar before the payroll for March to just get to understand as the guidelines are provided. Michelle says, what do you mean when you say SHIF registration is for all Kenyans and foreigners must register to participate in the social health insurance fund for over 12 months?
So that's the period of registration that it runs, supposed to run, of course, between January 2024 to December 2024. So they're going to give people 12 months to be able to register.
Okay. All right. I don't think we can exhaust this conversation tonight. So is the government also planning to increase our salaries? The deductions are too much. I hear you, my brother and sister. I hear you guys. I hear you. I am not too sure about all those things, but well. It is what it is. Hopefully that they will, come through for us or something. I don't know. We are hoping something gives. So allow me to just take 2 minutes to let you know. We did not give a shout out to those guys who really support us in bringing these webinars to you. So, but at this point in time, before I go there, we have a breakfast meeting for women and men. This is happening on the 9th of March. Fred, I hope you're sending me half your stuff.
All of them should come.
Yes, we are discussing the labor of love and leadership, and the topics will be a woman's worth in a man's world, and where is my bra? So this is a conversation open for both men and women. It's 4,800. It will be at Windsor Golf Hotel and Country Club. And for those of you who are golfers and you wish to golf after the tea, you are going to do it at a discounted price of 2,500. And for those who want to learn, we can speak separately. I'm not a golfer myself, but that place is so beautiful. And I thought, you know what? We are celebrating a woman, and therefore, we are joining both men and women in this celebration. And we are saying, you know what? We might as well do it in a beautiful, serene place. So please book your slots. This is going to be a fun activity. So of course, we do this every Tuesday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. And we are looking forward to next week. We are having quite a series of good discussions. And of course, next week will not be any different. We have a lineup of very good topics. Next week, we are doing change management because a lot of organizations have to go through change. But our partners include CPF Consulting. They have Nile Front Cottages. We have Essence Park Limited, Star Discover, Ndovu, Elsamea, Profiles International, Steadfast Quality Solutions, Capula Mentito, Wicklin, Panessa, and Pathway Solutions Services. So we appreciate your partnership. Thank you very much for supporting us and just being there for us and allowing us to be able to provide these learning sessions to all of us every week. So we really, really appreciate. Now, Fred, you can give us your parting shot.
Thank you very much, Grace. Thanks for this opportunity to be able to share information. We basically looking forward to support most employers and all employers in terms of contracting, in terms of complying with the NSSF Act, in terms of complying with the SHIF Act, and will be available, as I've given my contacts on the platform, and we're looking forward to be able to work with you. Thank you very much, and have a good night.
All right, thank you very much. So allow me to take this opportunity to appreciate Catherine Sidandi. Thank you very much, Madam, for making us inclusive. We really appreciate you. I am in Mombasa, Nitapute. Yeah, so thank you. Ati?
You are a traveler.
Yes, I am. And yeah, so thank you so much, guys. Our audience, we really appreciate you. Please get it right with the Tara Solutions. We are the trendsetters of conversations. So we will support you being informed. And I hope that we are helping you gain a thing or two. So thank you, guys. Please join us on the 9th of March. It's a breakfast meeting. Please bring your partners, bring everyone. Yes, it does not matter. Even your husbands and wives, bring all of them. Let's have a conversation around the labor of love and leadership. So until Tuesday next week, please follow us on Instagram, like our Facebook page, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Get It Right with Atara Solutions. And of course, we shall hopefully, we got a good recording, I'm not too sure. Today, technology has done us a number, but you're going to send whatever will be available. And of course, Fred has said, please get in touch with him. Do not get stuck with your NSSF issues. He's gonna come through for you. And in case you're stuck and you're not able to reach Fred, please reach out to me. I know how to find him for sure. So thank you very much, guys. I think our WhatsApp group link was shared. Please join and know what's happening in Atara Solutions. And see you next Tuesday, same time, same place, as we have another conversation. This is the year of growth. Have yourselves a good night. Thank you.
Excellent. Good night. Bye-bye.
I'll teach you. It's good night.
So, Ati, good night.
Good.
Oh, wait, Catherine, wait. Okay, so you said?
Good.
Oh, good.
Good night.
Also, good night.
Yes. Good night.
Good night.
Next time you'll interpret.
Good night. I
Yes,
will. I
good
need
night.
to know how to say my name is. Yes.
You want to learn now, like now or next time?
Let me put. No, this one we can do. The person who is sending me their number, we can't follow the link. Please, there is the link. We might lose your chat. Just click on the link that has been shared.